How you doing, you? How you doing, YouTube? Listen, this clown right here. I'm gonna talk to you guys about Black Child and his talking about 50 Cent when he first met Ja Rule in Atlanta. And I'm just gonna break down this clown's fucking dude. If you have 1% street smarts, right? You can easily like you wouldn't even unless you're living in a fantasy. I mean, right off the rip, anybody that wears glasses and can't look you in the eye is a liar. In my where I come from, you know what I mean. Anybody that you know, he's got that just that. I mean, if you have to wear glasses, you're hiding something, right? It is what it is, bro. That's facts. I'm not. If somebody can't look you in the eye, or if they're talking with nervous energy, that right there is a dead giveaway. But anyway, I'm gonna let this clown talk about how the encounters, the beef between 50 and Josh that started happening, right?
Was in Atlanta?
That might have been the first physical or situation in Atlanta.
So at this point, he's dissed you guys, right? Like he made the song. It's
Murder.
It's
Yeah.
murder.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I believe I seen some old interviews where John and 50 are kind of dissing each other.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so how does this meeting take place, and how do you guys both end up in Atlanta at the same time?
Chaz from Black Hair, rest in peace. Matula Shakur cousin, right? Goes back this far. This
No, I'm gonna give you guys a take on how I interpret shit. Mind you, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm an Irish street kid, right? I know for a fact I got more street smarts than any of these clowns, bro. But hey, you don't have to take my word. Do your research. When this dude talks about how every one of them has respect for Chaz, right? That's right off the rip, right? That's almost like they got more love for Chaz than 50 did, and 50 was managed by Chaz, right? I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that line when 50 says Slim switch sides on me, that's who he's talking about as Chaz, right? I mean, it's clear to me to see that's actually a true statement. The way everyone, look at Ja interviews, look at Black Child's interviews, they all praise Chaz. Now, some of you guys might sit back in the comment section and might say, well, yeah, of course they're going to praise Chaz. They got respect. They're not like 50, blah, blah, blah. And that's fine. You can have that opinion. But where I'm coming from, right? These guys is snakes, bro. All right? In my opinion now, listen, don't take my word, do your research. In my opinion, I think 50 was such a bully that even the OGs feared him. And I'm going to break that down further and further. But take a look at what this guy says. And listen, like I said, don't ever take my opinion. Do your own research.
history, right? So he was a old school dude who used to rob banks. This was back then, 4-hour time. He went in jail, did a whole bunch of time, so he's a certified legend in our hood. He used to manage 50. He's cool with Premen back in the days, whatever they had before me, because I was a child. Like I said, nigga was young back then. I ain't trying to claim nothing I don't know about. Right? Their relationship, they felt it was strong enough where they could bring people together. Preem was working with us. Chaz is working with 50. You know what I mean? So Chaz tried to bring us together.
Now listen, that part's true. I'm not going to say every little thing he's saying is a lie, blah, blah, blah. No. Listen, when you tell lies, right, you got to mix truth with the lie, which for the viewer, is going to be like, oh shit, wait, this guy's got to be telling the truth, blah, blah, blah. If you notice one thing about 50, he's old school like the Preem team. When he says something, he doesn't have to speak, about a topic forever and ever to prove his point. He's quick with it. He says what he got to say in very few words. If you notice how 50 moves, it's very few words when he's talking street shit. He doesn't talk like these guys, You want to talk about snitches and rats. These guys is blabbing them out. Even if whatever they say, I don't believe. They're the ones yapping their fucking mouths. All right? Ja, Black Child, Irv Gotti, Chris Gotti. They're the ones that talk about it all the time. Pay attention. They're the fucking blabbermouths. They're the ones that want that attention. 50 already made his rep in the street. He don't have to do that. You follow what I'm saying? And I'm going to get back to why there's like 70 rappers out right now. There's like 70 rappers, actors, comedians, rapper affiliates that are all going at 50 at the same time. That's orchestrated. That's either by Jay or Diddy. There's somebody paying these guys to all come out at the same time to go against 50. Right? Now go.
First time he tried to bring us together may have been Atlanta, when he booked Ja and 50 for the same show. Right? So now we're staying at the same hotel. So when we get to the hotel, Chaz is there. He's the promoter. So, 50 of them must have been checked in.
Now pay attention to this story. Now this is where the street smarts comes in.
And 50 being there and Chaz. I don't remember nobody else really being there like that when they saw.
Yep. All right. Now hear what he said right there. Now hear what he just said about that. Now. He said there wasn't really nobody there from their side. Now, pay attention. These are important words. He's basically saying 50 was basically there by himself with Chaz and maybe Yayo. That was it. All right? The Preem team, Murder Inc., everybody on their side was there. Right? Now, that's a big key. If you guys can't read between what I'm trying to tell you, if I got to break every little thing down for you guys, then you guys ain't got an ounce of street smarts. Now picture you going to the Lions Den, right? Right? You got every one of their members is on that side, and you go in there by yourself, right? What, maybe a guy, let's keep it a buck. Yayo can't, he's a shooter, he's one of those guys that can't really fight. I ain't gonna lie about that, right? I don't know if he can fight, but looking at him, he kind of reminds me of like a Black Child, skinny dude, like a Ja, like how Ja was back in the day type of thing, harmless, But pay attention now what he says. 50's by himself with Chaz and Yayo. All of Murder Inc. and the Preem team, that aura is all behind them. Pay attention.
Airport, he's getting our rooms together. And of course, as I'm getting our rooms together, everybody's in the lobby. You know what I mean? 50 and Ja, he takes 50 and Ja to the side, like, yo, 50, I guess he talked to 50, yo, talk to Ja. Ja, they probably didn't even want to talk to each other. You know what I mean? 50 probably didn't want to talk to Ja. Ja definitely want to talk to him. Like I told the story before, right? My boy 01 at Great Adventures, they sell these mini baseball
Now
bats
pay attention to this.
in New York, right? So he just came back.
This
from
is
Great
important.
Adventures. So the whole time we're traveling, we got this little mini bat like this with us, right? It's like
Now pay attention to this part. This is basically the whole point of this video I'm doing, basically, is to show how 50 went there, right, by himself with just Yayo, right, and Chaz, and he's going to the Lions Den, right? And so I'm not saying that the Lions, blah, blah, blah. I'm just saying that they're outnumbering them heavy, all right? Now pay attention to this, because this speaks volumes in and itself. I don't even have to break every little thing down, right? He's basically going to say, like, when 50 talked to Ja had the baseball bat in his hands, right? And 50 still snuffs him. I mean, anybody from the street knows if they got all their people behind them, right? And 50 still snuffed them, right? Took his chain. They can make up any lie they want that it fell on the ground. He picked it up. They got to say that, right? Right? Then, he does that. He still hits him with the bat in his hand. Now pay attention. Black Child's going to say something where he didn't see 50 hit him. But then again, after he turns around, he picks up the baseball bat and he starts hitting 50 with it. So let me break it down for the slow ones. He's going to tell you that Ja had the baseball bat in his hands when 50 hit him, right? Then he goes and says he didn't see 50 hit him. But when he turns around, He's now got the baseball bat. Ja don't have the baseball bat anymore in his hands. So for a slow person, they might say, well, this is WWE. He tagged in Black Child to go take the fight over. You know what I mean? For the slow ones. But for a guy that's got some street smarts, he can read between the lines. Again, this is elementary. When 50 hit Ja with the baseball bat in his hands, he might not have KO'd Ja like, where he was out cold, but he definitely blacked his eye and he definitely knocked him down. So much so that the bat fell out of his hands. And when Black Child, that's what probably got Black Child's attention. When he turned around, he heard the baseball bat fall. Black Child picks up the bat, starts swinging at 50. But then he's going to say, 50's bulletproof vestices. He says vestices like that, right? Stop the blows. Like as if Black Child can't hit 50 in the head with the bat. Come on, man. You want to talk about WWE shit? Damn, come on, man. He's going to tell you that he can't hit 50 in the head, that the bulletproof vest is saving him from hitting him in the head? Come on, guys, man. You guys come on, man. They're messing with you guys, man. You guys can't read between the lines? Come on, man. This is elementary. My 5-year-old would know this.
Everybody's playing with the bat.
Now he's gonna say everybody's playing with the bat.
People got it.
That's it. That's his defense mode to make it seem like.
I don't know. We got the shit that back in the airplanes.
Yeah. Now when he says everybody's got the bat in their hands, he's almost saying 50. Ja wasn't planning on having the bat in his hands. He just happened to be the one that had it at that specific time. You know what I mean? That's basically what he's saying. He's saying hey, we all had our turn with the bat. You know what I mean? It wasn't like Ja had it planned when 50 confronted him that he's going to have the bat in his hand for protection. You know what I mean? That's basically what he's hinting at when he says it like that.
It was lean. The shit when we got through the airport with it. Long story short, when Ja and 50 talking, just so happened at that time, Ja had the bat in his hand. Like I said, at some point all throughout that day, we all was holding the bat.
Now, did you hear what he said? Ja had the bat in his hands when 50 confronted Ja. Pay attention. He had the bat in his hands when 50 confronted Ja.
So now Ja's got the bat, he's playing with it, and they asked him to talk to 50 while he got the little bat in his hand. So he's flipping.
Now, Black Child
playing with the bat, I guess 50.
Now, anybody with an ounce of street smarts would know, step back and say, wow, he had the bat in his hand while 50 hit them with all the Murder Inc. there and Preem team there. You know what I mean? The aura. Because let me tell you something, when Preem goes there, he's going to have some people with him too. You know what I mean? It's not just going to be all little Daisy Murder Inc. people. All right?
Took that as he was attacking or, wasn't really paying attention. 50 popped and snuffed him, right? So when 50 snuffed him, I didn't see the snuff. Boom, we was on his ass, right?
Now, see that what he just said? See, this is where the lies come in. He said, now for the slow people, I'm going to break it down for you, right? He said when 50 hit Ja, Ja still had the baseball bat in his hands. He said he didn't see 50 swing at him, but when he turned around, it was on and popping. Now he's going to tell you that he magically, miraculously, it was almost like after 50 hit Ja, right? Miraculously, after 50 hit Ja and Ja had the baseball bat in his hands, miraculously, Black just ends up with the baseball bat. Come on, guys. Use your head.
This is when I realized this nigga's pussy. So, right, we him up. You know what I mean? Snuff job. Now we him up, right? Just beating him with the bat. Got his shirt, hitting him like this. Bam, bam. His shirt come off. This got the bulletproof vest on, right? So the bat was ineffective. I'm like, this running around. That's why if you listen to the old disc, I'd be like, nigga, you got a vest with no gun, you pussy. I was saying shit like that back then for the people that don't know when the beef was popping, because during that situation, you know what I mean, we got it shaking after he snuffed job, we all went over there, arrested him. Yayo hiding behind 50 like a little bitch, fighting like this, swinging like this. He just swinging like this. 50 was the only one fighting. You know what I mean? Me and Ja fighting 50. You know what I mean? This Yayo's behind 50, so he always been behind 50, literally. You know what I mean? It's a double metaphor. I don't know what got going on. You know what I mean? But yeah, so we hitting him with the bat, you know what I mean? He been down 50 fighting like this. Got his shirt swinging the bat like this, come up out his shirt, boom, got the vest on the bat. The bat was really ineffective. You know what I mean? So now they run through the lobby. They take off. These talking all that shit, these ran.
No, I had enough of this guy. This
Look, put the pieces to the story. If Yayo told the story before, yeah, they ran through the hotel. Me and Ja chased them through the lobby. You know what I mean?
Now let's just pretend for argument's sake, he's telling the truth right there, right? Let's just say that he's telling the truth. There's already another lie because he said Uncle Chaz. I don't think it's in this interview, but I do believe Uncle Chabs stepped in between them after that fight ensued, and they knew they couldn't. They supposedly other people in Murder Inc. said that they weren't going to continue to hit 50 because Uncle Chaz stepped in between them, right? So if you look at different stories and you put them together, this dude's just like he's lying. Like anybody that can't tell this dude's lying got some serious mental problems going on in their head. All right? I mean, like you would have to be like the dumbest person on 2 feet to believe a word this dude says. And you saying you're a street dude? Come on, man. Come on, man. That's not even it.
We chased
All right.
him to the lobby. He's trying to hold us back. Chaz is still trying to break it up. Some people with his
okay. Now, what he said when Chaz is still trying to break it up. Now, Chaz is still trying to break it up, right? Here's where the lie comes in. They all said before when Uncle Chaz stepped in, the fight was over. Don't take my word. Go back and do your research. Other people said when Uncle Chaz stepped in, they weren't going to swing at Uncle Chaz. They didn't want to hit Uncle Chaz. The fight was over, right? These guys, they can't even keep a story together, bro. They really can't. Like, I'm actually lost for words that people actually believe these fucking people. Like, you can't be on a team lying, right? 50 stories stay the same. Yayos, everybody, short, sweet, what happened? And anybody with an ounce of brain knows the truth. I mean, somebody shouldn't have to break down every little thing. Even Uncle Chaz confirmed 50's side of the story, right? Everybody, right? So, when these people lie on the fucking internet, it's just crazy.
Into the elevator, I went to grab, the big ashtray they got used to.
Now, he just said, again, if you look at other Murder Inc. interviews, they said once Chaz stepped in, the fight was over. They didn't want to hit Chaz. He just said Chaz continued to step in and try to break up the fight. Did you not hear what I heard before? I mean, Black Child clearly said it, right? Chris Gotti said it and said once Chaz, I believe it was Chris Gotti, said that once Chaz stepped in, the fight was over. They didn't want to hit Chaz. Blah, blah, blah. Don't believe me. Do your research, right? So you can see the inconsistencies on their stories. They can't even keep the same story together.
Hotel, I grabbed one of those, threw that shit at 50, throw that, you know what I mean? They make it in the elevator, boom. The story's out. He talking about 50 lapped the chain. Ja Chain. While we was fighting and doing all of that with the bat, Ja Chain got popped and the cross fell off. You know what I mean? They later on scooped it off the floor and went back and act like they caught it for the chain.
Now tell me where he's... Now, again, I shouldn't have to break this down, but for the slow people, do you really believe when all Murder Inc. is surrounding 50 and they're fighting, right? You really believe 50 had time to bend down, pick it up? Do you really believe that? Or do you believe once 50 knocked Ja down or KO'd him or whatever you want to call it? The only reason why I say KO is because to put the picture in your head that when 50 hit him, snuffed him, he blacked his eye and he put him to the ground, right? That's the real truth. Because when Ja had the baseball bat in his hand and 50 hit him, that bat fell out. And Black Child picked up the bat and started hitting 50 with it. I mean, this is elementary school shit. Not only that, right? Go do your research. They say once Chaz stepped in, the fight was over, basically, because they didn't want to hit Chaz. All right? Then you have other versions like this clown saying 50 picked up the chain during the altercation, and that's how he ended up getting it. And then they're lying, saying that they snatched Ja's chain. Listen. After 50 punched Ja with the baseball bat, and Ja's baseball bat fell out of his hands, right? I believe 50 snatched Ja's chain, right? Went for the pendant. Maybe the pendant was the only thing that broke off. I don't know, right? After he snatched Ja's chain, right? After he snatched Ja Rule's chain, right? I believe he put it in his pocket. I believe he didn't want Uncle Chaz to know. Because if you rewatch, go back in the interviews, and people say that Chaz confronted him. I'm not sure if it was in Atlanta or whatever. He said, do you still want to be a stick-up kid, or do you still want to be a rapper? I believe it might have been Gene Deal that said this, and I believe that. I believe 50 knew that he couldn't let Chaz see him take Ja's chain. So my thinking is he was trying to get out of there as quick as possible, so nobody would know about that chain. Now, anybody with an ounce of smarts knows if 50 continued to fight all, 20 of Murder Inc. by himself, obviously 50 would get beat up, right? I mean, that's just common sense. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to know this. I think Mike Tyson would have got beat up by 20 people. Even the weakest 20 people would beat up Mike Tyson. Okay? And anybody in the comment section that says no, they wouldn't, obviously never been into a fight and don't know how fights happen. Because it's impossible. Even Mike Tyson would get beat up by 20 people. So basically what I'm trying to say is this, right? Do I believe 50 ran? No, I don't believe 50 ran. But I do believe he was trying to get out of there to secure that chain so he could use that. Yeah, I do believe 50 had a motive, especially knock out Ja Rule, take his chain, and then put it back in the video, right? I do believe that. I do 100%. I believe that's what it is. Because back in the day, when you rob a chain and you floss it, that's the ultimate disrespect. Now, their version is that somebody picked off the chain off the ground, right? I'm going to tell you, that's literally impossible. And I'm not saying it's impossible, but if I go to your hood, right, and I'm by myself, maybe I got a friend with me, right? But we're also there with a guy who other people in your hood respect, right? An OG, right? And I pull one of your guys to the side, right? And I talk to him. He's got he's got a knife in his hand or a bat, right? And I basically almost KO'd the dude, knock him to the ground, black his eye up. I take his chain, right? Now, don't you think if that chain fell off, somebody in that entourage would notice? Don't you think that pendant would make a noise? That's number one. It sure made a noise when the bat fell out of Ja's hand, right? Now, I think the pendant would be a louder noise than a bat. A different type of noise, right? Now, if that's true, that 50 picked up that pendant, right? How would he have time? That makes them look real bad. That makes Black Child and Ja look real bad. They shouldn't even tell that. Because actually, it makes them look better if 50 snatched it from Ja's neck. But only a person that's, savvy would know that. Meaning, if you're jumping me after if I KO your guy and robbed his chain, let's just say blah blah blah, right? And I still have time to pick up a chain off the ground while I'm getting hit with a baseball bat, right? And I still have time to bend down and pick up a chain off the ground. That makes you guys look so bad that they have to say 50 ran. That looks so bad if somebody has time to pick up a chain while they're fighting. Now, one of you guys might say, oh, that would take 2 seconds. You're just bending down real quick. Listen, to get it knocked down and still have the threat of people hitting you from the back with a baseball bat, and then you got punches coming from every angle, and you still have time to bend down and pick up a pendant or a chain, that makes them look so bad. That makes them look like they're nobodies, if you want to know the truth. Where, hey, if you get caught and then somebody yanks at your chain and they take it that way, that's not as bad as I almost knock out a dude, black his eye up, right? The chain fell on the ground. Let's use their version. And I have time to bend down and pick it up while I'm getting hit and punched at every angle? Come on, man. That you guys are talking like it's Mickey Mouse.
So it's like, yeah. So it's a whole bunch of misconceptions that go on their side that they painted, but they're not gonna tell that part when chased them through the lobby. How y'all get back
now,
in the hotel?
again, don't take my word for it. Everybody says Uncle Chaz stepped in, right? I mean, don't take my word. Do your research. This is elementary. So who are you going to believe? This guy or other people that said once Chaz stepped in there, the fight was over? If that's true, why would 50 have to run? I mean, don't take my word for it. Do your research. This is elementary. Why would 50 have to run if Uncle Chaz stepped in, and they got so much respect for Uncle Chaz that they knew that they couldn't swing back at 50, or supposedly the story is. See how that there's so many different variants of this story. 50 stories consistent. All of a sudden now there's 70 rappers, actors, comedians, rapper affiliates now all attacking 50 because they're cowards. They can't do nothing by themselves. Black Child would be peeing sitting down. Ja Rule would be peeing sitting down, right? Irv Gotti, Chris Gotti, they'd all be peeing sitting down if it wasn't for Preem. Everybody knows it. You really think Black Child and Ja would ever dare cross 50's path if it wasn't for Preem Team holding his nutsack? Come on, man. They wouldn't go nowhere by themselves. For Preem literally protected them. In exchange, he extorted them, right? Listen, I'm going to say this for the last time, right? After this fight, right? If the Black Child's version is correct, let's just say for argument's sake his version is correct, right? That they got 50 was running, blah, blah, blah. All the lies, right? The only reason why the Hit Factory happened was to get back for when 50 KO'd John robbed his chain. The Hit Factory doesn't happen if Black Child's version is the truth. Because, listen, it would be 50 seeking revenge. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, well, he took his chain, blah, blah, blah. But listen, the reason the Hit Factory happened is, one, they were put on the spot by a female that said, hey, they seen 50 in the studio, blah, 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 right? Ja Rule was on crutches. Ja Rule couldn't do nothing, right? He was on crutches. That's number one. There was 17 Murder Inc. versus 50 Yayo and a studio engineer. That's another thing. People obviously have no brain cells to now picture that in their head. They think, oh, wow, 50 ran down on G-Unit. They think of, they don't break it down to individuals. You know what I mean? They listen. 50 was basically damn near by himself with a studio engineer they didn't know, right? And that Hit Factory wouldn't have happened. It would not have happened if Murder Inc. and the Preem Team beat up 50 Cent in Atlanta. What happened is 50 KO Ja Rule, took his chain, made him look like a punk because he had a bat in his hand. He was all with his Murder Inc. and he was basically damn near by himself in Atlanta. Anybody that punches a dude and that guy got a baseball bat in his hand doesn't think much of that guy with a baseball bat in his hand. Let's keep it a buck. If I punch you and you got a baseball bat in your hand, that's like you might as well just be a punk bitch. Like, if you got a baseball bat in your hand and I punch you and I black your eye and I rob your chain, you can't get more. You want to talk about gangster? You can't get more gangster than that. You can't get more. That's worse than somebody shooting you. That's worse than somebody shooting you. If you have a baseball bat in your hand and I basically damn near KO you and rob your chain and you're with all your people, that's like that's way bigger in my eyes than somebody cowardly paying somebody to shoot you, right? So not only this to prove that 50 got the way that was probably the most gangster thing in rap history. That to me, you can't get more gangster than that. You almost damn near KO a dude with a baseball bat in his hand, rob his chain. He's with all the Murder Inc. and Preem team, right? The Aura, whatever. And to get back at them, 17, I'm going to show you interviews later on. There was 17 Murder Inc. and Preem team that confronted 50 at the Hit Factory, right? And it was only 2 G Unit members and 1 studio engineer, right? Smurf wasn't there. Banks, I don't think, was there, right? So, if Atlanta didn't happen and 50 didn't KO John Roberts Chain, the Hit Factory wouldn't have happened. The Hit Factory was revenge. But guess what? Ja Rule's on crutches. What the fuck can he do? What's he going to do? Right? So, after the Hit Factory, right? And, another thing. Chris Gotti has inconsistencies on the Hit Factory. Don't take my word. Go rewatch the interviews. Chris Gotti in some interviews says 50 was snuffing him, beating the fuck out of him. Then in other views, they say his wig was split so bad, now he's got to use the excuse that 50 hit him with a speaker. So which is it, Chris Gotti? Was those punches from 50 that you said, or was that a speaker that hit him? I mean, if you break everything down, it's clear to see. It's elementary. What are we talking about here? All of a sudden now magically 70 people appear and they're all going at 50? How come they didn't do this 5 years ago? 10 years ago? Right? Now, right? After the Hit Factory, where supposedly Murder Inc. claimed another victory, right? After Murder Inc. claimed another victory, right? And supposedly the stabbing, Black Child supposedly stabs him with a butter knife and all this other bullshit, Mickey Mouse shit. Because that's what it is. That's what I call it, Mickey Mouse shit, right? Mickey Mouse, right? After all that, Preem, they feared 50 so much, Preem paid another man to kill him. They feared 50 so much, they paid another man to kill him. Now, if they really claimed victory at the Hit Factory and 50 was not that dude, like people are saying, why would they have to pay another man to kill him after the Hit Factory, after the stabbing? You know why? It's because they feared 50 so much. Preem thought that it was 50 behind the shooting at a gas station, right? They don't talk about that. But anyway, listen. If you KO me and rob my chain, I have a baseball bat in my hand, and I come back with 17 people, knowing you only have 2 people in your studio, right? And an engineer you don't know, right? And one of my people end up stabbing him, and you still split our wigs, right? And you still basically, do damage to us, so much so, right? We start stabbing with a butter knife. And after that, where we supposedly claim victory, we got to pay another man to kill you? Come on, man. I don't know. I don't even know what we're talking about here. They feared 50 so much, they got to pay another man to kill him. How come nobody talks like what, people are stupid? They can't break every little thing down? Come on. What are we talking about here?
What y'all do? Y'all ain't do nothing. Y'all ran.
All right, we ran. Okay. That guy's a clown.